Welcome to another Memphis Monday. Memphis Monday 238. This is week 30. And today we're going to build some storage trays from the recycled wood we get from the from that old assembly table. So if you want to see it, stick around. Morning. If you want to see how we built these excellent little tool trays for our drawers for the assembly table we built last week, stick around because that's what we're going to do today. Oh, welcome to another Memphis Monday 238, the 30th video of year 5. Today we're going to take that old assembly table and we're going to take it apart and use the recycled wood to make us some storage trays for the large drawers we built in the new assembly table we built last week. So we got a lot to do. Let's knock off the chit chat and get to doing it. Here's a problem on that assembly table we built last week. We put these very large, deep drawers in there, and these are great if you want to use it as a file cabinet or to put large tools in. But if you want to put anything small in there, you know, it's either going to be piled on top of one another, which wouldn't be convenient, or you're just not going to be able to get much in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some storage trays that sit in here, take up about half the space, so I can take that thing out and get the stuff under it and put it back in there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. What I envision are 4 boxes look like this. I've got it color coded 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's only 4 different parts. We'll make it out of the top of the old assembly table. Have a little handle across there. You can pull it out, and it'll sit on cleats on the drawer. Here's a cut list. We need 8 sides, 8 fronts, 4 bottoms, and 4 handles. Oh, I'm glad I checked. You know, after I cut out that stock, I went ahead and put one of the boxes together, and it won't fit. I mean, it exactly fits into the space here, but you can't put it in because this drawer here overlaps the drawer. This bottom drawer. So you have to be able to lower this in flat straight in, but you can't do that because of this. So it's back to the drawing board. Okay, I fixed that prototype up. Go in just like this, and it can slide forward and back. Alrighty, so I think it's going to work. Let's go ahead and make the other ones. Redesigned the boxes. I ran the handle along the long axis from side to side. Kept the total depth the same, but I used 1/4-inch plywood on the sides instead of 3/4. It actually probably strengthens the box and also gives it more interior space, and it's lighter. The handle is also recessed into the top of the box. I just thought of something. I keep on making these prototypes, but if I make 2 more prototypes, I will have already finished the job, and that's how it fits in there. I think it's lighter, stronger. I think it looks better. So let's make 2 more of these. Okay, we need 2 bottoms that are 13 inches wide. And the bottom, the long axis, is 19.5 inches long. Okay, we got our bottom, and there's our sides. Now we need to cut the ends. Once you go in there like that, and they are 13 inches long. And here I'm going to fire up old Thumpy and cut out this notch here from my handle. That is 1.5 inches across there. Now if this were solid wood, you could just take this out with a chisel. As a matter of fact, you could just chip it out with your hands. But in plywood, that's much more difficult, so I'm going to take it out with old Thumpy. So then my handle will fit down in that notch like that. And my handle will be the same length as the bottom. And then I can square up the sides using the length of the handle. But here's all my parts. All I gotta do is nail it together now. Do that. Now you'd think maybe I'd use pocket screws or deck screws to put this thing together, but I'm using glue and super long staples. those staples, when you put them, these long staples, when you put them into plywood, they spread out and get all twisted, and they're very strong. If you've ever tried to take apart a pallet that's been made from staples, you know what I mean. Same deal with the handle. I'll put a bunch of glue in this end grain here. Now this handle is the same length as the bottom, so if I flush it at the ends, at both ends, that means my sides will be plumb. And I'm using these super long staples. Now for the ends, the glue again, of course. Then I'll position my sides. Except now, I'm not using the super long staples, I'm just using the 1-inch staples. All right, I turn the pressure down. Okay, now to put the cleats in that the box sits on. First, put a spacer in there. This spacer do two things. It correctly positions the cleat, and it also holds the cleat up while I put the screws in. So here's my cleat. It just sits on that spacer. It's a no-hand steel. And I'm using pocket screws primarily because they're the right length. And now I can just put the box down in there. And it's exactly level with the top of the drawer. Well, we got half of our recycling job done. Now we need to recycle these old stands. This back one here is kind of interesting because I built this about 18 years ago. I was still in the service, and I didn't even have a shop. I built it for a drill press that I just bought. I won't show taking these apart, but I will show the wood we get out of them. Some of this wood I got out of that old stand is, I can't really tell. It kind of looks and smells like oak. But it's 2 inches thick, and this could make some pretty good cutting board wood. Well, that does it for Memphis Monday 238. There's our equipment trays that we use from the recycled wood. We built from recycled wood. I've already started to put brads and nails in there. Right there's our wood I'm going to have to throw away. It's particle board and some other junk wood. But most of the wood that we didn't use to make the equipment trays, still here, still good. We also salvaged 8 wheels. They're good wheels, but they don't all have locking mechanisms on them, so, and I really need that on the I really need the wheels on the assembly table. We also got a big container there of structural screws, huge rim shank pole barn nails. What are they called? Carriage bolts and all that stuff. And we got this, I thought maybe it might be oak, but it's like 2 inch and 2.5 inches thick. It kind of smelled like oak, but when I sanded it, I think it's just some off-cut poplar. But being so thick and wide enough like that, it's going to make some cutting boards. All right, that's it for Memphis Monday 238. Okay, that'll do it for Memphis Monday 238. I don't know what to add. We completely recycled that old assembly table. It's completely gone. All the nails, screws, bolts, everything's taken out of it. We've actually sanded some of the wood. I think that thick poplar is going to be good for some cutting boards. And a lot of good wood still there. Our little trays, they're working out great. I've already started putting stuff in them. So I think we did all right. So like and favorite, share and comment and all the stuff you do on the internet. But most important, make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.